Hey.
There we go.
What is up, guys? How's it going?
Peeps?
We're super excited. We have our friend Javi, aka Zitrovision, up in the hustle.
Yes.
Me, yeah.
Nice. So, welcome to another episode of Dos Cocos Locos. And before we get started, let's roll this intro, and then we'll get started after that. Coconut.
Fire.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Roberto Guido.
And my name's Marissa Lewis.
And together we are
the Dos Cocos Locos.
And welcome to our podcast.
So our goal with this podcast is to drop as much coconut fire, which is our way of saying life/business knowledge bombs, for creatives that don't necessarily know much about life or business, through conversations with one another as well as with other fellow creatives and dope people.
Our story has a lot of twists and turns, but basically we started by selling coconuts at the beach, and now we have our own photography and videography business. And it's through these conversations that we were able to really learn how to navigate this thing called life. Enjoy.
All right. What's up, guys?
Hola, amigos. It's me, Zitrovision, Javi. Some might not know my real name or
Do
what I
people
look
not
like.
know your real name?
No, on my Instagram, it's just like, Zitrovision, no face, no name. So, like, if you have been a follower, like, you might not even know.
Wow.
Dang,
I'm like
that's
this weirdo.
Did you do
Honestly,
that? Did you
I
do
don't
that
think
on
I knew what
purpose?
you look like until I saw you at
Arikai's thing.
maybe Art Raffle,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Citro. And then I was like, oh, this is him.
Right, like,
I
you
think
see
that
the
might
sign,
have
it's like, I
happened.
know that name,
Oh,
but, like,
who
who the hell is that
is
guy?
it?
That's right. And then you were walking around with the camera, so I'm like, I think this is the connection that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Tight.
Love that, man.
That's funny.
So
Yeah, it
dope.
was cool to meet you guys there too. I was like, oh shit, look at them doing their thing, teaming up, sneaking up on people.
That's what we're the best
High
at.
key, high key.
High key, like if we could
Professional
just like,
sneaker uppers.
yeah, if we could just like take pictures of people like doing their thing.
I'm sure you are, and have, and
Yeah.
then you probably have a good collection of just like really weird shit most of us are doing. So then at the end of the year, you just pull up like a B-reel of us IRL.
Of everybody,
Yeah.
like here you are. This is your life.
Here we have
Always
Ari
events.
Kai picking her nose.
That's so funny because Loki, I think we do.
We
I was
probably
so
do.
pretty- Like,
There's probably something.
I just
some footage.
you look back to all this stuff you skip over when you're looking for like quality content, and you're like, can't do that.
Yeah. We should just make a folder of all of that.
Or like for me, it's like I don't know. Somehow I always like end up accidentally like recording. So then like I have like at least 5 minutes of footage on every project of just like the floor.
Yeah, or
and,
people's
like,
feet and stuff.
That's
like,
true.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, I feel we've all done it. That's just it. It's
Too
just,
many times.
Yeah, it's just how it is. Dang. So, Javi, we like to start all our podcasts with this question,
Mhm.
and then from there we just talk about whatever we talk about, and then a final question. That's about it. Like it's very laid back, unstructured, just kind of conversation based, and
Nice.
then we kind of just take it from there.
Yeah.
So the question is,
Da-da-da.
in one sentence, as long or as short as you want, what is it that you do?
Quick question. Does he always like tap his like mustache when he asks that
It
He
gives,
question?
does.
it gives it a little bit more like
Gives it more of like a
pizzazz, you know what I mean?
what is it
What is he
What
gonna
that
is
you
it
do?
gonna do?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm a photographic fine artist. In that sense, I create like creative photography and video through the medium of a camera. So with that, I can create, creative portraiture for people, concert photography, fashion photography. Most importantly to myself, I do kind of like conceptual work to get kind of like all that negative stuff out of your head, which is kind of like the artist's sense of like creating from like things that kind of destroy you on the inside.
Yeah.
And then I travel a lot because that's kind of what brings me the most joy, and like seeing the world is phenomenal, as you can see from like stuff like this. So then
Yes.
that also puts the fine art kind of sense in it, where you're like, well, I'll be like framing stuff and exhibiting in shows, galleries, museums,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make that dollar,
Dude.
I make
yeah,
that
man.
dollar.
but also showing people some dope shit.
At the same
Yeah.
time.
I mean, these are freaking awesome.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Like I remember at Art Raffle, you had like a ton of prints.
Yeah, as a photographer, we take a ton of photos, so you can match like even from all the stuff you have seen, you can believe that's like 10% of
Right. Of everything that you've ever done.
yeah.
Or even just shown anybody.
So
That's cool. What do you like? Do you always take prints of all like? Because we
You want to get to that level.
we don't take enough prints.
Yeah.
Like we don't make our photos
Print.
print.
T.
you don't
Yep.
print them.
Yeah.
That was a hard sentence to come out. So we don't make enough prints. Like, we keep our photos very digital, and like digital has a different type of like feeling, I feel. But then when you see it like actually printed on
when
paper,
you print your
it's
stuff
just
out
like,
and you see your
oh.
creation in front of you, you're like, wow, I did that. And then you keep printing it bigger and bigger, you're like, holy crap.
yeah, because these are massive,
Yeah,
like
bro.
all around here. Like, there's
Yeah.
a ton of them, and they look so like just
that one over
perfect.
there is pretty tight, but like even the more I print big, I'm like, I want bigger, bigger.
What's the largest print you've ever done?
That one over there, 20 by 30,
That's
because after that
huge.
it gets pretty
pretty
expensive.
I'm sure.
Damn.
Yeah, and
But,
you gotta frame it.
By the way,
that
should we
too.
tell the people where we're at right now?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
let's tell people where we're at.
We're in the streets.
Literally, like,
Yeah.
there's like a big window behind
Yeah.
the camera, and it's like just people walking and
Yeah, so
stuff.
if you see us like
Just
glaring
very
Yeah,
at
'cause
distracted.
we're,
That is
we're
why.
hardcore people watching, just
Yes.
watching that dog take a poo. Yeah, we're
This is a nice view, though.
yeah, I guess I'll introduce it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah, introduce the space, man.
currently we're at the Kilgore Atelier, which is a new fashion and art workshop. Yeah, here we have Kyle Kilgore, who handles all of the fashion design side of the whole thing, which includes, creating couture and fashion clothing stuff for people. And we also carry a lot of local designers here exclusively. Like, there's no like
can
big
only
brands in here. It's just stuff created here in
That's
Tampa.
so dope.
In that sense, it's also special to anybody who walks in and like loves this dress but doesn't fit them. The local designer can just alter it for them and have it ready in like a day or two.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
That's what's up, man.
And then I personally work out of here as my photo studio. So I have my studio in the back over there, which you guys checked out.
Which is fire, by the way.
Yeah.
Insert special effects here.
But yeah, I pretty much spend most of my time here. Just 80% of it's just editing and like messing around with my playlist. And
True. That's important, though.
sometimes I actually schedule people to shoot, which if you check out my portfolio, you see I work a lot with local models, musicians, artists, and with that I like as well, or mostly because through my vision, it's more exposing the vision behind the character or the person you are. So I feel like everybody has like a dark side or another side that they keep inside of them, and with artists that we try to create from that. So I like to bring artists in here to create together and kind of just make some crazy shit out of like the creative process of just like bringing a bunch of props and like bringing your personality out and like what your style is. Like I shot Melly Misa here before, and like we just played around with like different colored cellophane and mannequin hands and
Yeah, that was cool.
crazy things.
I
And
love that, dude.
yeah, for me, I usually like to work with like black paint or just like a robe of sorts or weird stuff.
It's really cool. I feel like all your photos are just like so, like,
So like
dramatic
abstract,
and
but
like they just like yeah.
they make you like look at it and you're like, wait, what's going on
Yeah.
here? And like it really captures your attention, which is
Especially
so
when
dope.
you like know the person in the image, you're like, what? That's like this
Yeah.
person. Like,
Like the way that you're able to like alter a whole different scene is just insane.
yeah.
And like create
He's
a
just
whole
like,
scene
yeah.
out of like a white room. Like it's just it's
Welcome.
crazy.
Yeah, I try to definitely grab a different perspective on everything. Plus, it's just also how I kind of think of things and see the world around me and just like move things around. Like, I have done like different group photo shoots like that before, and I'm always usually the guy who's like climbing something or doing something completely abstract. Like, you'll have like 20 photographers, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Where is he going?
So I'm like kind of bummed I've missed both of the Dos Cocos Locos pop-ups.
Oh, next one's coming soon.
Stay
Boom.
tuned. Stay tuned.
We'll
Stay
see
tuned.
if I'm in town for that one.
Yes.
Because, yeah, I just end up
Yeah, you're always traveling, bro. Literally.
trying.
Dude, let's talk about traveling.
Yeah.
How do you travel so often, and where do you go? Where have you been, and where would you still like to go?
Like,
That's a lot.
that's like a lot of people.
That was a lot of questions in one
He's like, wait,
sentence.
wait.
So what was it? Where have I been? Where am I going?
How do you do it?
How do you do
How
it
do
so
I
often?
Yeah.
So pretty much don't spend money on anything. Just once I've started traveling, you realize how much of a budget you can actually create and afford. So you're like, wow. Then once I get back, I'm like, I really don't need to be spending like $5 on coffee every day or going out
True.
drinking with friends, or
True.
Yeah, so
buying
have no
clothes,
friends.
or
That's important.
you know, just
Have no friends.
keeping a sustainable way of life
Yeah.
also helps as well. Like
Mhm.
instead of just buying water bottles and stuff, you just have like a canister and you just fill it up at sinks or at home, or I mean that's a carafe, but
Okay.
I'll carry that around
Yeah.
town. I'll strut it.
Do it.
Make it a thing now.
Yeah. Can you actually pass that over?
Yeah, I
please?
got
Yeah.
you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This
No,
thing is
we
beautiful.
understand that. You
That's
have to be very strategic
Mhm.
with how you use your money, man.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure.
For sure. And it also just helps to save. So it's also, that's more of a sense of saving for something. And that something for me is traveling, because that's what gives me more of a worthwhile value in life. Like going out to see the world really like just bursts my heart in like fire. I'm like, wow.
It's really
yeah.
cool.
And like when I am traveling like that, I'm like just hustling all over town, like going to see so much, running all over, and I'm just like, wow. So like I just traveled Europe for like the last 23, not the last, I traveled Europe for 23 days, and like every day was like
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like, like the amount of ideas just flowing through.
yeah, it's crazy. So as for where I've been, this
Here we go. I'm ready
This
for the
kind-
list. I'm ready
Let's
for
go.
it.
All right, here we go.
this kind of started with my best friend Daria, who's another bomb ass photographer. She goes by with Dashka on Instagram, which is also that girl up there on the top left with the broken mirrors in the
Oh, yeah.
desert.
Bro.
That image
Wow.
was taken in Colorado.
We're
on
gonna have to
our-
get a picture of that.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a quick like tour of the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that
we
way,
can
yeah,
feature
you can
some
see-
things,
yeah.
but actually, yeah, all 4 of those images over there we're taking on our month-long road trip across America,
Wow.
where we visited 20 states in 1 month, and you can actually
20
check out.
states in one month.
Yeah,
That's in America?
that's in Denver, Colorado. Actually, not Denver, but it's 2 hours south of Denver.
Wow.
That's the Great Sand Dunes National Park. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
it's pretty freaking wild out there.
That
Yeah.
looks insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that fuck, we hiked up there. That's probably like the worst hike of them all, because it's like you're hiking like through sand,
So
and
you're
if
not
you're just
really
like
moving
your feet
anywhere.
and I'm
So you're
carrying like
just-
my backpack there.
Dang,
We
oh
went
yeah,
to
with all your gear and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
And all of those mirrors.
yeah.
and so yeah, it took like an hour to hike up there, and we like we went to a thrift store and I got that black dress. I had like this concept in mind, so then I also bought a mirror, just
Yeah.
like a normal mirror up there. Hiked up there with all that stuff. Once we got up to the top, I broke it and put the shards in like that.
Yeah.
Of course, we picked it up and took it with us because we're not trying to leave.
Right.
It's like leave no trace
Mhm.
in any
Environment.
park or any part of the earth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that came out pretty sick.
Yeah, bro.
That looks really cool. We're definitely gonna get a photo of that.
So that was one trip. After that, I was like, wow, yeah, this is all I ever want to do. So yeah, you can also check out the feed from that trip by our hashtag 20 States 1 month.
20 states in
And,
a month.
The perspective we took on that was, at the time I was just doing black and white. So then I have the
Okay.
black and white perspective of the trip, and she has all color. So it's nice balance
That's
of beautiful
cool.
things. And of course, we see different things that inspire us. So like while she's taking a picture of a goat, I'm taking a picture of like cemeteries.
Yeah.
You know, the usual.
The huge.
Dude.
That is so cool.
Where'd I go after that? Yeah, traveled around America quite a bit. Seen at least like 30 states. It's pretty dope out there. I recommend going out west. Everything past Denver is mind-blowing. I'm actually going to the Pacific Northwest in August, which is in like 2 months.
That's exciting.
Yeah, which is my favorite region for sure. Actually, the whole West Coast is like mind-blowing. Every 5 minutes, we went up from Laguna Beach in South California to Seattle.
Wow.
Just up the whole coast, the Pacific coast, just like crazy shit.
Yeah. That's cool. I really haven't been like west of Illinois.
Damn. Yeah, you got to get out there.
I know there's so much
Yeah.
more. I feel
There's,
I
like-
couldn't even list the states that are
Like,
like
I've
west of
only
Illinois.
gone like through them, but that's only like for a trip to go to Mexico kind of thing. Like I haven't actually took
True.
the time to.
No,
do
even
it.
like going through them, like you realize every state
Has
really
a-
is different. As soon
Yeah.
as
Oh,
you
yeah.
cross
Own
like
characteristics,
state
you-
border, you're
you
like,
see
whoa,
it
I'm
real
in a
quick.
different place.
It's
And
like a
then-
whole different country
yeah.
going through.
America is goddamn huge,
for
Yeah.
real.
and to see all that is pretty special.
That's interesting because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I just want to go to Europe," or "I want to go
Out of the
like,
country
they're
somewhere.
like, nothing wrong with that either, but a lot of people can just explore what's here in
Yeah,
America
you go
too.
to Europe, people want to go to America.
Yeah,
And
it's like
most Americans that go to Europe will be like, why would you want to do that? But then like if you've actually seen America, you're like, yeah, go out west. Like it's crazy out
That's
there.
true. All right, maybe we gotta travel around. Road trip.
we're out here
So-
getting motivated.
For real, it's
Like that
time.
Which is what I also hope to inspire through this podcast and in my work, where like if you go and see crazy stuff like this, you're like, wow.
I want to do that.
So yeah, I have all sorts of travel hacks and recommendations to, a little coconut fire to spin on the
Yes.
podcast.
Do
Yes,
it. How do
bro.
we do it?
Well, the budget thing was for once, just
Yeah.
stop spending money on literally everything.
True.
Very true.
And then buy your tickets ahead of time. With that, I recommend Google Flights. You can pretty much go on there and like pick different airports, pick different dates, and then it'll actually show you a calendar of the month with all the different dates for every day. So if you're planning on going on like the 3rd, and then you see that like going on the 5th is $100 cheaper, you're like, pfft.
Just go on
That's
the
pretty
fifth.
good. No brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That's
another good website I used on this trip was skiplagged.com,
Skip the line.
which finds
I'll
flights.
leave all the notes
yeah.
in the description after this.
Yeah, that one's pretty good because it not only does it find flights, but it finds like secret deals. So one, for example, is I was in Amsterdam and I was wanting to go to Lisbon, and it found me a connecting flight that was from Amsterdam to Lisbon with a 1 hour layover to go to Barcelona. But then it's like,
That's nice.
buy this ticket for 50% off and don't get on the flight to Barcelona. I'm like, "Pfft, all right, this sounds like a scheme. I'm
Right?
here for it.
That's
Like,
funny.
bye. And then
Dang.
they literally like they throw a note in there like, don't tell them you're not gonna get on that second flight. Just don't get on that second
Yeah,
flight.
just don't get on.
Wow.
Bro,
So-
so you just gotta hustle it out there though.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That makes
Dang.
sense.
So like, what's like, because I think for a lot of people, they just think of a number. They're like, oh, if I want to do this, it's like way too big of a number
Oh,
before
that
even
too.
looking at it.
That's another deterrent to keep people from traveling is just the budget.
Yeah.
So I say the most expensive part is just the flight over there.
Mm.
At least for Europe, it's all pretty damn affordable and accommodating to travelers of all sorts because Europe is just constantly traveling. So literally, like, I'd say for my flight over there this time, actually, and another tip is to like, if you are trying to like travel around Europe, like you don't necessarily have to buy a round trip ticket from the same place. Like you can, like for me, I bought a ticket from Miami to Barcelona for $150. Boom. That's the crazy
What
stuff
the
you'll
Wait,
find on Google Flights.
what?
and Skip Flag.
150?
Yeah. So
No way.
I had no
freaking crazy.
date in mind, so I'm just like, I just
Just
look
randomly.
At, I just look at flights around certain times, and for this time, I was trying to go to
Dude,
Wait,
what?
what?
Because I thought it
Wait,
was like at least
Miami
500.
to Barcelona
Yes.
for 150.
and then my return flight was from Brussels to Miami for $250. So round trip to Europe for
What the
23
heck?
days was $400.
Bro.
That's cheaper than like rent for like most of us.
Yeah.
So it is possible to get your ass out there if you just
You just gotta look.
yeah.
And then not
That's
be too picky with your dates.
Yeah.
No, or anywhere.
Or-
So like other tips for where to fly into / if you're in Florida, fly out of Miami. That's usually the cheapest.
Good to
Tampa
know.
actually has some direct flights to Amsterdam, so that's good too. Amsterdam's 100% worth visiting. Other cities that are affordable to fly into are London, Milan, sometimes Barcelona, and Brussels. That's what and Dublin. So like if you
Oh,
just
we almost got a flight to Dublin.
Yeah.
We literally
Oh,
in
you're right,
December,
that's close.
we were this close to buying a ticket. They were only
Yeah, we should've done
$400, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, let's just do it."
do it, you'll
We
figure out
should
your
do
life.
it.
Yeah.
We should did it.
Yeah,
Next
Yeah.
time.
Up.
Point is,
Next
point is get your flight out there because you're going to be traveling around. So just no matter what city you go, I mean, like pick one you'd like to see.
Yeah.
So then you end up in London. Like my first trip to Europe first time I ever went out of the country to Europe was last year, and within a year I've already been back 3 times
Wow.
Damn,
because it's just like phenomenal.
that's wild.
But,
do you go by
That's really
yourself or do you
yeah,
go
I've-
with
I've
friends
gone-
or you
I've
just
gone
just depends?
solo dolo.
Solo dolo.
Solo
And
dolo.
Okay,
Yeah,
Shout out
I
to
was
Kate.
kind of worried about it the first trip because I was like, what the
That
hell
could be
am I gonna
nerve
do?
wracking for sure.
Yeah.
It is, but
Stepping
I'm also
outside
like
your comfort zone.
I'm also kind of like a loner in a sense, so I like just traveling alone. Not that I plan to be alone the whole time, but it's just like
Right.
I don't try to depend on anybody, which that also can hold you back and
Yeah.
just like
True.
waiting for people to change or they're hungry, so we have to like
That's
not
true.
go here because they're like, and just all sorts of things. So going solo lets you do whatever you want, whenever you want,
Yeah.
as fast as you want, and
That's true.
I'm pretty quick. I'm just like,
Another question, and I feel like this is something that like I think about when I'm thinking about going somewhere that far away in Europe. How do you know where the heck to go? Like, how do you plan your days? Like, how do
yeah,
you
that's
decide?
true, too.
Okay, I want to hit this
So-
place, this place, this place.
It's not incredibly touristy because you
Right.
don't want to hit the touristy
No.
stuff when you're.
Just think of like the things you would want to visit. Like for me, it's like cemeteries, concerts, abandoned places, kind of like picturesque things you'd like to see. And yeah, you just kind of do a bit of research. A good tip I do is on Instagram you can follow hashtags. So I go to I select my cities. So on this trip I was going to, where'd I go? Barcelona, Paris, London, Amsterdam, Brussels, Lisbon, Bilbao. Yeah. And
That was all 23 days, right?
Yeah.
Bro.
So I pretty much followed Algiers, Paris, Algiers, London, and then that's like 3 months ahead. So through the time that I'm waiting to go, on my feed I'm seeing just dope places that other Instagrammers are like seeing. And then, or you could just like hashtag Paris, or just hashtags on Instagram is a pretty good route to go because it'll just show you the perspectives from different people. So then you find one thing, you're like, wow,
think
what is
about
this
that.
building? I want to go there. So then you just add that to your list. As for planning,
Wow,
So smart.
I know.
So
I
you,
didn't think of that.
so you just gotta get a ticket, and then from there, it'll
Yeah.
just
Figure it
motivate
out.
you
yeah,
to
that's the
figure
first
it
thing you
out.
do. Just get the ticket, and like because you've got the ticket, now you're committed. So then you will figure it out
Yeah.
because you have no choice.
Yep. Because you already bought the
You already
ticket.
bought it.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, we gotta do this. Oh, we're gonna start traveling. Yep. All
was
thanks to
thinking.
you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Text me, slide in my DMs. I'll tell you all the things because I have a list of everywhere I have gone and want to go. Of just like every time I talk to somebody about traveling, they're like, "Yeah, freaking Tokyo's dope. You got to go here, here." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Oh,
Yeah.
You just write that down, and then whenever I get there, I'm like, "Got to go here."
Check it
So
out.
yeah. Also, anywhere I talk about, I have a list of places to go, so I can send you that.
Oh, definitely gonna do that.
Dude.
Yep.
So how can people reach out to you real quick?
Instagram, Zitrovision. I'd say just that.
Yeah.
I mean, email zitrovision@gmail, but like, you know, Instagram's pretty direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Email, like I'll just kind of decide when to email you
Yeah.
that.
I'll just look at it and be like, maybe tomorrow.
Next one, there's some emails.
That's
with
cool.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, if you know me, you have my number, hit me up. That's about it.
So where would you like to
that.
go? Now that you've gone to all of these places, where else would you like to go? Like, what's next on the list that
Oh,
you're
I
like,
actually think I have that written
here
down.
we
Yeah.
go.
Can you show the people your notebook though? Because
Yes.
it's so dope. 'Cause I look-
This is just a little notebook I got at the Jean Moreau Museum in Barcelona.
Wow.
I got it. I got it, and then
I
I,
wanna
was
be able to
like
say that.
just writing down different
That's cool.
paintings that like inspire me. So
Yeah.
I'm like writing down his style just to see like how he works things.
and then you can like maybe implement it. into
Yeah, and
something
so
else.
that inspired different works like
Wow.
this.
That's
like
so
I
colorful, bro. I like
painted
that.
that. Or
That's so
painted,
cool.
and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just I drew that in a.
Dude, honestly, if you don't have a notebook, highly
Yeah.
recommend you getting like 5 of them. And
Yes.
just like
yeah, just all
putting
sorts
down
of things. So these are just
all
all
your
things I
ideas.
drew like along the trip.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can really see that, but you know, just
Yeah, maybe
weird,
that one.
that's cool.
I think I'm excited.
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
stuff.
Hey.
And what was it? Oh yeah, the list. This is also not organized at all. So good
That's
luck.
how all of my
It
notebooks
doesn't
are.
need to be organized.
I like how small it is, like
I literally
pocket size.
like look at this. It's one page is
Upside
up.
down.
That's so cool.
Just okay. So here, yeah, hand that to you guys.
Okay. Oh my
This
gosh.
is where I've been. This is where next time where I want to go.
That
That's
is so
cool.
cool.
Some
This
of
is a long list that you've already gone to.
And then the dots are how many times I've been there.
Wow.
That's
Barcelona,
and these are all
3
within
times.
1 year.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
Where's
dude.
Porto?
Porto is on the north coast of Portugal. So 2 top cities to see in Portugal are Lisbon and Porto.
Okay.
And Porto is recommended to be as like a kind of urban, artsy more city.
Yeah.
I mean, Lisbon's pretty dope with their murals like all over the place. I think Portugal's pretty dope just in like the Miami art scene type of sense. Not like
Yeah.
high art, but just like low street art.
Yeah.
That's
That
cool.
they're just like, yeah, we're taking over the streets because Portugal's kind of like an abandoned kind of country where they have just a lot of stuff that people are forgotten about. So artists are just taking over the buildings and
That's so
throwing
cool.
art shows and like DJs sets at like warehouses and like abandoned buildings. I went to a club in Paris that was yeah, my friend told me we were gonna go out to clubs. I was like, cool, I don't care, I'm out here. And we ended up walking into an abandoned church school, and that's how they just like take over places. And I'm like,
Wow.
This is pretty tight. It's really hot because there's no AC, but I
Right.
dig it.
That's cool. It's
Here's
a whole
what you
vibe.
got.
Wow,
Damn,
this is
man.
cool.
That's a dope list.
So
So you want to go back to Barcelona, back to
always
Lisbon.
Barcelona.
Always Barcelona.
Spain for me
Naples.
is definitely like home at heart.
Yeah.
I'll always return there. It just feels right.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Would you ever consider moving to a place that you visited?
Barcelona. Immediately,
For
I was
sure.
like, "This is it."
Yeah, like I'm gonna move here one day.
That's cool.
For me, I want to end up or just live. I want to continue living by the water, which is why we live in Florida because it's really nice to be by the water.
Mhm.
Barcelona, I think, has it all: water, mountains, transportation, and really easy to get anywhere in Europe. Great art scene, great food, great wine, great people. Damn, goodbye.
Wow. All right. Maybe go to Barcelona.
So, wrapping up the first question of where I've been, first Euro trip was Dublin,
That's so cool.
London, Paris, Milan, Venice, Florence, Barcelona, Madrid, Sevilla, Lisbon, Madrid again, and then back to Lisbon.
Wow.
And then second trip, about 4 months later, I went back and just did like an Italy trip because Italy is like beautiful. So I flew into Milan again because it was like the cheaper one. Milan's a great city. Like you want to go there anyway. Milan, I did Bologna, Florence, and Rome. And Rome was pretty cool. These two images of the black and white cemeteries were in Florence, which is another reason why I went back to Italy because they have the dopest cemeteries ever. Like you can imagine like famous Italian sculptors over the last like 400 years, like just creating tombs and stuff like this. Like that's just for somebody's like tomb.
That's freaking awesome.
And yeah, I think this Euro trip I already mentioned where I went, and yeah, next trip is the PNW, and then I'll probably end up in Europe again for my birthday in October. I like to get the heck out of town. So
That is so cool. Oh,
Damn.
all right. We gotta plan a trip.
He's inspiring the coconuts.
We gotta
to
do
go
it.
Travel the world.
Yep.
so
Because I know that I've been wanting to go out of this country for a while. Like we went to
Yeah, we
Mexico
talked about
for
that.
I mean,
in
even
December.
now,
We're
just
like,
like
"Oh,
start
that's fun."
doing the Instagram hashtag I told you about. Just
It's true,
follow
start
some
looking at it.
places, and then one of them will inspire you more than the other, and then you'll just start searching more things there and around there and stuff like that.
That's how it
That's
happens.
so cool. That's amazing.
Dang.
So you went on your first Europe trip last year? It's only been a year? Is that what you said?
Dude,
I mean, look at the
I'm
time.
gonna count the hours.
Actually, click the button on that iPad. What date is it?
It's 24th.
Literally,
Yes.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 24th.
Yesterday was
1 year
23rd.
ago today.
No
Wow.
way, really?
That's when I hopped on a plane.
That's freaking
Wow.
dope. That's
Look
wild.
at that. Look at
So I think that was 30 days plus 10 days plus 23 days, 40, 64 spent. Is that 2 months? Yeah, 2 months out of the year in Europe. Not bad.
2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2 out of 12 is.
That is so cool.
I can't do
No,
math. Like 2 out of 12 is something
I
percent.
knew my mathematical capabilities, and I stopped right there before I got it. So,
What were you? You finished that sentence. Like, yep, that's how many.
That's awesome.
That
All right,
is so
guys, so we're
cool.
going to take a quick little break.
Yes.
Restart these cameras, and then we'll keep on going.
Yeah.
And we're back, guys.
We're
What's
back.
up?
welcome
Nice.
back to the podcast.
Yes.
Podcast.
Okay, so now I want to talk about your
All right, here we go.
story. You said you had a massive story that was both good and bad on your last trip, and I'm very excited to hear about it. So let's go.
Yeah. You mind passing me the water again?
Yes, guys.
Yeah.
Need some water for this.
Oh, yeah.
Stay hydrated.
So yeah.
Uh-huh.
Story time. I planned this trip. I drove 4 hours to Miami. I took a 10-hour flight to Barcelona, which, you know, by that time I'm pretty tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I slept on the plane, it was just like,
Yeah.
I arrive in Barcelona and I meet with my Spanish-Russian DJ friend, Sealskin, who I met last year. And we got to create together last year and just make some dope shit. So she's like, yeah, we need to make a music video and the mountains here, a bunch of crazy monsters. I want you. And I'm like, I'm your guy. So,
That's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
so like we were organizing
That
it
whole
through.
sentence was dope.
Yeah.
We organized it over Instagram, but like we actually got some time to talk. So I met her up for lunch. The video is to be shot in like 2 days. So we're like just going over things.
Mhm.
And then she had some business to do, so I split off. I mean, we both split off, and I was definitely in the siesta mood. So one other thing I highly recommend to travel with is a hammock. It's very light. Just keep it there. Just take a nap wherever, or you go hiking and you're like on top of a mountain. Hammock time.
Damn.
And
We need to buy a hammock.
yeah, and it usually also like my hammock can fit. Apparently, it fits 4 people. I didn't trust it.
Wow.
But I recommend 2 people comfortable in a hammock, or
Damn.
just one.
Just Amazon or just
Yeah,
yeah.
wherever,
Okay. Hammock it up.
wherever hammocks are sold.
Link in bio.
So yeah, story gets interesting right away because I take a little siesta, put up my hammocks in the trees of the Citadel Park, like a nice big park I really like in Barcelona. I had like my backpack with like my camera and just all my stuff. So I tied it to like the tree above me,
Okay.
just to, like, you know, it's there, and listen to music, chilling, doze off for a bit. I pretty much wake up and my bag is gone.
Oh my god, no, bro.
So that was really fucking weird because I woke up from like a good dream into a bad dream to where I'm realizing my bag is gone. And I
No.
search every inch of that park around me, everywhere for like an hour and a half. It's gone.
No.
Wait, what?
So 6 hours in, I have lost my camera, which is like full frame, 28 millimeter, you know, more than $20 type of stuff.
Yeah.
300 euro in cash.
Oh my god.
My ID, my debit card, my passport.
No.
Fuck,
Oh my
bro.
god, it's literally your whole life in this bag.
My notebooks,
Not the notebooks. Not the notebooks.
my bamboo utensils that I got just for the trip. I'm like, cool.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I'll be so upset.
my
I'll be
wa-
crying.
my,
I don't
like-
even know what I would do.
I would have just been
I'll be
like,
oh,
I would have just
come
cried in the park. I would have
No.
just been in fetal position crying in the park.
I just straight went out of body. Like I was like,
Yeah.
what do I do? Even like, even like the bag for my hammock. So it's like,
Oh my god, so you just have a hammock. You just have a hammock, you have no bag to put it in. You have no camera,
God damn it.
no passport. Oh my gosh.
So,
What did you
Holy
do?
shit.
So yeah, right away, straight shit out of luck.
6 hours into your trip.
Which really sucks because I mean I lose cash, I lose my means to pay for things, I lose my passport to travel, I lose my camera to create, to be able to make works to like make money off.
Yeah.
And also my camera for like I had like 5 projects lined up around Europe to also fund the trip, so that's kind of
Wow.
how I was
You were
going to
gonna
continue.
pay- Oh my god.
Yeah, so pretty much so you can believe or you can imagine how that felt.
Wow.
Dude.
So that's the only bad thing that happened. So from there,
That's a pretty bad thing
So
to
you
happen.
just didn't get it back? It's just gone?
it's gone.
It's-
I thought you were gonna say, but then my friend came out.
But then
nope,
magically
here's my
it
bag.
reappeared.
No camera. So
Oh my gosh.
so from there, pretty much just well, not even. So the first day is pretty damn interesting
Yeah.
to start off.
Uh-huh.
So I go to the police station, file a police report, get my documents. They have my info, my friend's info in Barcelona, if anything's ever found, so they can get back to me. That night I had my hostel in the Gothic Quarter, which is kind of like just old Gothic buildings all around, to where the neighborhoods and everything are kind of like alleyways. So it's
Okay.
kind of like a maze of alleyways.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So towards midnight, I'm like updating my friends in Euro about like what happened, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And then like if there's like any kind of recommendations of like things to do at this point, since they know how Euro works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pretty much couldn't sleep, obviously. So I went out around midnight just to like
Mhm.
explore, take a walk, get my mind off things, and like some weird kind of like cues and signs are like directing me certain ways, and I'm just following. Like I don't even care anymore. I'm just like
Going.
seeing things, and before I know it, I walk past this restaurant window, and I realize I just saw my favorite band, like all of Tame Impala, having dinner, and I
Wow.
was like,
Wait a minute.
What?
What?
so I just went like full Mr. Krabs and like, what did I just see? And
downtown partnership out here trying to fix cars.
No way.
They supposed to walk around and hand out brochures. They are under that man's hood.
Oh my gosh.
If that ain't sample support, I don't know what the fuck it is.
they're looking in there like, yeah, the engine's there.
They're really trying to fix it.
Well, I see some oil or whatever.
Like 2 old men trying to fix a car.
Yeah.
Well, bless that. Good job.
Where was I?
It's so funny.
You're good, Cal.
I literally just walked in.
I mean, might as well introduce yourself.
Yeah, come on in.
I'm
Come on.
not recording right now.
100%.
Yeah, just turn to that camera behind you
Right
and say, hey.
Oh. Hi. My name's Kyle. I'm gonna leave now. I'm sorry. I thought you were
No, you're good.
That'll be a good blooper.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Tame.
so
It's your favorite band, bro.
Yeah, so I
Just
went
right
to...
in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, now,
So
now it's
cool.
getting spicy. Oh jeez, it was even more spicy. What am I saying?
So yeah, I went to Barcelona to see them at a festival on Friday, and I was there on a Monday. So they were there 5 days early, just living their best lives in Barcelona. And I was like,
Wow.
oh my god,
There they are.
fuck. So I'm like,
I can't even take the picture.
I can't even take the picture.
Damn, that sucks.
I have nothing. At this point, I have €10 cash that I found in my pocket, and I'm like, fuck it, like. I'm going in and having a glass of wine. Like, this is what I spent the last of my money on.
Wow.
This is it.
That sounds like great. Yep, I do
I'll
that.
do that too.
Yeah,
At
just like,
that point. Look
I'm
at
here. So I'm like, I grab my glass of wine and I'm like containing myself, calming my nerves. Eventually, I know I'm like interrupting them, but I'm like, there's no other option.
Yeah.
Like I have to say hi.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me just find what the hell I
signed
told
your
them.
book. Oh,
So
I was gonna say
only,
they signed your book. That's
I was like,
pretty
what?
no, I'm not like I didn't want
I'd be
anything
like,
from them. I just wanted to meet them and where's my life?
Yeah.
That is so
That's
cool.
our life right there. Where's our life?
That's freaking awesome.
ASMR noises.
Paper's turning.
Dude,
That
Oh,
is
it must
so
be on this
cool.
page. All right, cool. So then I only took up like 2 minutes of their time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to like look at Kevin Parker's face and be like, "Hello, Father." But I was like, "Hola, I want to thank you for taking the time to do what you love, and I look forward to many more years of confetti and laser beams." And we cheered because their show is pretty wild, lots of laser beams and confetti. But we cheered and smiled and shared some goodbyes, and I walked out and I was like, "Holy fuck! Oh my god!"
That just happened.
So I have like €2 left, or 4, doesn't matter. I walk across the street. I buy this like trippy lighter.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Let me see.
this lighter's a little bit special. I mean, it's quite a bit special because so then after that, I had some joints on me that I snuck over.
Nice.
Also, secret tips to sneak over.
How did you do that?
Hit me up. Keep that disclosed.
Yep, we'll talk about that later.
But yeah, I was feeling some type of way, so I'm just like, yeah. So
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
I sparked my joint just like outside the restaurant, and I sparked like 4 other people's cigarettes, and we're like chatting about stuff, and nobody knows who the heck Tame Impala is, so I'm just like,
You can't even like share this crazy story with
which
people.
I'm fine, because then it also means there wasn't like 5 people like, oh my god,
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, they
Wow.
come out of the restaurant because they're done, and they like kind of get in a circle right next to me, like trying, like after dinner chats, and I'm like. And the keyboardist Jay Watson, it was actually his birthday, which I found out later, which is why they were at dinner. But like he's like throwing his head back, like, what? And so I was like, oh shit, Jay, and like I passed him the joint. And he's like, thanks, man. I'm like, shit.
Wow.
So then he passes it
Wow.
around, and like it comes back to me, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Is this really happening?
Is this really happening?
Like,
That's insane.
Yeah, I watched him walk off, and I'm like, fuck, shit. Yeah, but hold on, let me take care of that music.
Oh yeah. All right. Cool. Another intermission.
Wow. Dude,
We're
that's
just
cool.
gonna chill here and like think about just what he just shared because we didn't.
Could
we
you
didn't even
imagine?
hear that. Like your favorite band / artist. Like this.
Sharing
Bro,
a
that's
joint.
freaking crazy.
What the
man.
heck?
That's-
Out of the blue.
Day one.
That's all day one. That all happened on the same day.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
So wait, how did you get
How did you get
your
back?
money back, your passport? What did you
This
do?
was a fucking trip, man. So another good person that came into my life was my friend Bailey,
Mm.
who I met online through like the Tame Impala Facebook group that we had just recently joined after seeing them in Atlanta. So I was like, hey guys, I'm going to these shows in Europe. Anybody else want to hang out? And she was like, I'm going to those shows too. I'm like, damn, you're crazy. So we ended up having the same layout timing for our trip because we were going to like the similar shows. So she was actually arriving the next day.
Oh, nice.
So the next day she arrived. I went out to dinner with her and kind of told her the whole that. I told her that. So she was like, what the fuck? And then also, what the fuck?
Right?
I was like, they're here? And I'm like, yeah.
They're here.
So she helped out a lot because it was good to have an American friend with me. Slash, I was also, she had never been to Europe, and she's also just like, female alone in Europe.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, dude, I got you. We'll travel, take care of each other.
Dope.
Ain't nobody gonna fuck with us.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes a dream.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I end up, when you're traveling like that, you end up making so many friends that are also traveling. So it's like, you're not really alone because you're just like, everyone's there just trying to live their best life. So she helped out a lot because she was able, like, as an American friend, she had Cash App. So shouts out to Cash App.
Nice.
So she was able to withdraw some money for me, and I was able to just send her the money right away because I still had my account active. So with that, I was able to go to the consulate and get an emergency 12-month passport.
Okay.
So that allowed me to travel for the month.
Yeah.
I was like, cool. Just cutting down the budget even more for unnecessary shit. But
Yeah.
I got my fucking passport.
How to do it. How to do it.
Yeah. And I'm kind of glad that happened like the first day and not like a day before I'm like hopping on a plane because then my flights would have been like affected. And I'm like, cool, I got my passport. That's all I kind of really need. Have some money, just enough. So yeah, from there on, I just kind of like learned to let everything go and just take all of this joyous traveling in and learn a lot about myself and surrounding myself with like positive friends that we just like kind of take care of each other. So shouts out to Bailey. She knows she's the real one, right?
Yeah, the real MVP.
Dude, for real.
Thanks, Bailey.
What do we do after that?
So
I have
crazy.
a list. Barcelona.
That's insane.
Oh yeah, so then it was actually her birthday like a couple days later, and we went out and just went out, showed her around, and then we're waiting at a bus stop, and yeah, pretty much the lead singer from Tame Impala just strolls on by again on like a pedicab with the bassist. And I'm like, oh, that's Kevin Parker. Like right in front of us.
Wow.
And she's like, ah! She screams and starts like chasing them. I'm like, oh my God, chill.
You gotta be chill. You gotta be chill.
So yeah, it was just crazy seeing them twice before I even like see them live again. I'm like,
That's cool.
this is just wild. Just like crazy stuff like that just happening. I'm like,
bro, that isn't the story, man.
so then the next day, since it was a birthday, the next day we went out and got brunch and we got like paella and pasta and sangria and all the Spanish goodies.
sounds
just
amazing.
Tapas, just
Oh my gosh, I just want to go for the food.
yeah.
High key, we were.
I have restaurants to recommend.
I'm
But
just gonna make like a massive spreadsheet from all of your travels.
yeah, and that's
With,
what I
like,
recommend.
everything
Too,
you
like,
do.
We're just gonna literally do what you did. We're like, wow, this is where that.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I recommend too. Like, don't make an itinerary. Like, make like just a list of options and just go there and just do whatever you want. You wake up, today I feel like going to a museum. Today I feel like going to the beach. Just as long as you have options, you're like, I can do this. And then once you have a map, you can like map out where things are. So it's like, oh, I can go to this museum and go over here for sunset and go for drinks here. But yeah, we ended up getting brunch next to the La Sagrada Familia, famous Gaudi church. It's like huge, but it's nice. It's like right in the view. So that was dope. And then we went around town. We went for the Primavera Sound Festival where I got to see Snail Mail, Kurt Vile and the Violators during sunset. And then we were like front row, center barricade for Tame Impala. So we're like, yes.
Wow.
Before they came on, we saw Janelle Monáe. So that
Oh
was
my
dope.
gosh.
And then
I
Tame
love her so
Impala.
much.
Yeah, she was
Oh
great.
my gosh.
I haven't really listened to her music, but I know she's dope.
Oh,
and
I love her.
definitely dope.
Relax.
She was
That's
like crowd
cool.
surfing like this close to me. I'm just like,
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, Tame Impala, front row center, blew my face off. Beautiful. They played from midnight to 2 a.m. And then I had a flight to catch to Paris at 6 a.m.
Wow.
You're crazy,
Wow.
girl. You are
So
crazy.
at 2 a.m., I'm still like living at this festival. I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I need to leave Spain.
It's time. Like, it's time
So-
to go.
It's just a whole process of just like getting out of the festival, getting back to my hostel, grabbing my bag that I actually pre-packed for once. Like, never do that. So grab my bag, get on a taxi, get to the airport. By that time, it's 5 a.m. I'm like, I need a fucking beer. Like,
Damn,
it's been a day. So yeah, I'm just at this airport in Spain drinking a beer at 5 a.m.
Wow.
And it all feels right. I'm just like, so hop on
That
this
sounds like a
plane.
great
And the
time.
reason I was leaving Barcelona to Paris so soon is because Tame Impala is playing in Paris 2 days later at another festival.
Okay.
So I'm getting to Paris a day early to like come down and like settle into Paris and do that. And Paris was like really, really, really special because a lot of friends came out from like all over.
Oh,
I
nice.
actually, one friend from St. Pete was studying abroad in Paris, Isabella. So we were all there at the same time. And I was like, Tame Impala is playing here the next day. They're like, oh, and everybody was just like buying their tickets. They're like, yes.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I had a friend, Kristen and Whitney, who are from like around Miami, that were also like, they had been traveling around Europe, and they told me they were getting to Paris June 1st. I was like, I'm getting to Paris June 1st. So yeah, me and Bailey had some dinner, and then we met up Kristen and Whitney. And then we were like chilling by the canals that night. We went out to that abandoned church school club I told you about. The next day we did the festival. That was pretty beautiful too. One of my favorite festivals. There I got to see Pond, Dodo et Moi, Caliuchis. At that point, I'm front row and center again. I'm like, holy crap,
Wow.
this has like never happened, let alone twice in a row. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
In like 2 days.
Yeah, so it's just
Wow.
Tame Impala like blasting me in the face with like laser beams and confetti.
With the laser music and confetti.
After Caliuchis, it was Erica Badu.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she actually went around like the crowd front, and like I was like pointing out
Wow.
my hand like this. And she
Yeah.
like grabbed it. And I was like, I feel
Oh
your
my
energy.
gosh.
As
That's
she's like,
insane.
as she's like putting up her voodoo doll, like, and everyone's like, yes.
Wow.
And then of course like
That's
Kevin Parker
insane.
blesses us with Tame Impala. That was insane. And yeah, got to enjoy the rest of the night with a lot of friends.
That's
Also
crazy.
met like a lovely couple from London, and pretty much everybody who you end up with like at Tame Impala like is there to live like their best life, like
Yeah.
somebody they've never seen before, been waiting so long, or they just know it's a special
Yeah.
show, and everyone's just so happy, and
You
it's
just
a really
vibe really well. Damn.
very big
So
vibes.
cool. All right. We're going to book a flight.
So if you're not sold by now
yeah.
to
That
go
it's
travel
time.
and live your life, then I don't know what the fuck will.
Yeah.
That was a dope ass story.
Because you got to go.
Yeah, dude, and even though like crazy shit happens all the time, like you can't let that like hold you back, dude. That's a crazy story, bro.
That's
Yeah,
That's
insane.
freaking wild. So right now you still don't have your camera?
I didn't have a camera the whole time.
Damn, but you have camera here though?
I just got one like 2 days ago.
Okay, I was
Wow.
gonna say, dude, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah, I gotta get back to shooting some
Yeah.
projects.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
it's cool. I
goodness.
upgraded to a better camera, so I'm pretty happy
To
with
use
it.
that as
Oh,
an
nice.
opportunity. Yeah, dude. That's how you live your life right there. Like shit happens, use that as an opportunity to
Live your life.
live your
Yep.
life and like do doper shit. Like
Yep.
fuck it, yeah.
I mean, honestly, like that bad thing happened, and then like something amazing
Yeah,
happened.
so,
So
like,
many amazing
yeah.
things.
I couldn't even be mad about it. I'm just
Yeah, you're like, well,
You're like, this is what it
was
is.
Like, it was like your payment for all this cool
yeah,
shit
you're
that
like,
happened.
all right, you
You're
want
like,
this? Here
yeah,
you
you
go.
can have that.
How are
I'm
you
gonna take
going
all
to
this
handle this
crazy-
first part?
Yeah.
At this
Wow.
point, I'm like a week into the trip, and then from there, we go out to like the Luxembourg Gardens and the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower. Which also, if you're in Paris and you don't know this, the Eiffel Tower has a light show every night from 10, 11, and midnight. So you can go out there at night. It's like lit up, and you can go out there with like a bottle of wine, some picnic supplies, go out with friends, and just enjoy a show.
Oh
Sounds
my
so
gosh.
nice.
It's really nice. Pretty special stuff.
Bro.
And
Yeah, we got to
Paris
go.
is just a vibe. From there, I also at the Atelier des Lumières, they had a special light exhibition. It's kind of like an immersive Van Gogh experience, where it's like a warehouse where they have all of Van Gogh's paintings and life animated.
I think I saw that.
yeah.
I think I saw that on Instagram somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have it all along the walls, on the
Yeah.
floor. There's different vantage points. Like you can climb up here. There's like a whole pool that things reflect off of. There's like an infinity mirror room.
Damn. Oh,
Wow.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. So
Oh
yeah,
my
I
gosh.
also am a big art fan, so I hit up a lot of museums along the way, like the Jean Moreau Museum. I got my notebook at. Another good museum in Paris is the Centre de Pompidou, which has a extraordinary collection of modern and contemporary art to just blow your mind. Like I kind of got a little mad just because I was like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are just making this shit.
It's funny.
Like, immersed. Like, there was this one particular one that really, like, just set me off because it was a cube of mirrors, but, like, reflecting themselves. So the back, like, all you saw was the back of it. So you didn't really see much. But if you really think about it, it's 6 mirrors in a cube like, infinitely reflecting, like, a universe of, like, reflections.
Damn.
And just knowing that's in there and, like, you can't even see it. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I am so confused.
Yeah, because they're all looking at each other, so they get reflected.
Wow.
So it's like literally.
But the way it's presented, they're like facing each other in a cube. So then
So it's on
all
the
you see is
inside.
the backside of the mirrors.
That's insane.
So it's like you just made this awesome idea, but it's not even like visible, but it's like existent. You're like,
There's all in there.
Wow.
Yeah. Damn, bro.
That's so cool.
and
We're going.
what
I'll
are-
book a trip today. I'm going on Google Flights. We're gonna
Do
figure it out.
do
Oh
it.
my gosh, that's so cool.
from Paris. Yeah, I just spent some time with like my friends Kristen and Whitney and Bailey, and just enjoying our time around
Damn.
like art museums and going to parks and sunsets and stuff.
That is so cool.
That's how you do it, man. That's
And then
fun.
out from there, I took a bus to London, which last time I took a bus from London to Paris and it went through like the underground tunnel through the English Channel.
Oh, nice.
This time I was expecting to do the same, but it actually hopped on like a cruise ferry. So I got to like get off of the bus and like go on like a little cruise to like the UK. I was like, the water was like aqua.
What?
All right,
Wow.
all right, okay, Javi, stop being so cool. Bro. All right, we get it.
Dude,
bro.
that is so
We
cool.
get it.
Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Damn.
Even
I'm very
is
excited.
even that's just something I didn't expect. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh snap! I get to get off the bus. Hallelujah! And we arrive at like the cliffs
Wow.
of Dover. I'm like, that's something I've never seen and
The
didn't
cliffs
plan
of
on.
Just
Dover.
happened, and it just
I feel like I've
happened.
heard that term
Yeah,
before
it's a thing.
in a movie
It's a
somewhere.
thing.
The cliffs of Dover. That's
It's
where,
pretty dope.
that's where we travel to.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
And then London, I was as soon as I got off the bus, I was like, kind of unexpectedly overexcited. I was like, oh snap! I'm in London. Look at all this cool stuff. London's pretty dope. Got there the day before the next Tame Impala show, which they were playing at the O2, which is like a famous arena venue, which was pretty dope. That show was pretty special because they just had like they already have a dope light show production, and this one they did something a little extra for that one, so that was pretty special to see. So yeah, spent some time in London, went out to some pubs, fish and chips, gin. Had a friend there, Molly, who I met in Paris last year, at this point, it was cool. I was staying with friends, so I was able to, you know, my budget was like
Cut down some
Yeah.
those expenses.
diminishing, but also like I had friends along the way to like help me out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Molly, I got to stay with her, and we went out to the show together, and she's like another performance artist, painter, sculptor, stylist.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
she actually styled me just to go out because I'm like, cool, I have literally
cool.
3 things to wear, so
Yeah.
I'm down to wear anything else.
Whatever.
And also another tip when you're traveling out there, just bring like one bag. I literally
One
had like
bag.
a black shirt, a white shirt, a long sleeve shirt, and like a jacket, and like these pants, and one pair of shoes.
That's really all you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like you're not there to freaking style out and
Yeah.
stun on
Right.
people.
You
just
don't really
there
take
to
pictures of yourself. You
Yeah.
take pictures of everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that's
even
true.
if so, it's like black on black is always
Yeah.
Always
good.
Yeah.
wearing black
That's
shirts.
true.
Yeah.
And
All right, well, let me press pause real
Yeah.
quick. Pause numero dos.
Yes.
And then we'll be back. Apologies, I mean. All right.
And we're back.
And we are back.
back on the adventure.
That-
There's
Hey.
empanadas cooking.
I think you can probably hear the timer through the microphone.
We're very
so it'll be
excited.
cool. That's what that is for those listeners out
True
there.
that.
So
Yeah.
we're excited for that. But
yeah.
dang, Javi, so that's wild. So do you have any like brothers and sisters, or are you just like an only child?
I have one full-blood sister, Amy, who's pretty much like the girl version of me,
Mhm.
Okay.
and she's gonna probably try to come in.
Oh, okay.
Awkward.
Yeah, Amy. And then I have 3 older half sisters and a younger half brother who's 9.
Okay.
He's pretty much like a little mini me. So that's
cute.
my only brother.
Dang. And so are you kind of like inspiring them also to like travel?
Yeah,
and,
for
like,
sure.
live
They
their best
don't
life?
leave either. I'm just like, come on.
Like,
Why don't you
Like,
Let's
let's
go.
do it. We gotta
all
go.
right, let's go.
Yeah, my little brother, like all he wanted was like a picture of the Eiffel Tower, And he's like, yeah, I was in Paris, yeah.
That's so cool.
And I show him like videos. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you gotta come out here.
That's dope, man.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, yeah, I like to. It's like so worthwhile to like travel. So like I hope I can share these stories and inspire other people
Yeah,
to
dude,
get
for
the heck
real.
out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
And it sounds so feasible too. Like it doesn't
It
sound
is,
like
like-
it's.
Like the way you broke it down, like I feel like we can really do it. Like
Yeah.
even though we're always
Yeah.
balling on a budget, like I
Mhm.
feel like it'll be worth
Even
it.
you guys, if like you're traveling as a couple, you can still stay in hostels, which are like $15 and $20 a night.
Hostels is
Wow.
where it's at.
And hostels are so accommodating with like you got your bed, like you're not trying to stay anywhere extravagant because
Right.
you're there to see the city, not.
Yeah.
Not be. And,
So they have like your.
I'm sorry to disrupt.
You
It
got
smells so
the-
good.
I know these
It
empanadas
smells
smell
so
really
good.
good.
Um, yeah, they got like lockers, Wi-Fi, showers, everything you could possibly need.
That's cool.
Hostels are the way to go for sure, and they're all like dope. They're all
Yeah.
accommodating to travelers, so they're like they have like cute little themes and they're like really nice. They're probably better than hotels, to be honest.
Gotcha.
And-
So is there like a website for hostels?
yeah. Oh, also yeah, hostelworld.com is the way to go. You can just it's kind of like Airbnb but hostels.
Okay.
And you can also check out on Airbnb if you want to get like a special just
Airbnb,
room
okay.
for just you two for a night or
Right.
however long. It's like, oh yeah, in Paris we're gonna have our own bed. So yeah, you can. It's like you don't always have to have like your own place, but like you can if you want, and it's still pretty affordable because it's just. And then food, traveling, yeah, like from there, like my flight from Barcelona to Paris was like $50. My train or my bus from Paris to London was 30.
Mm.
My flight from London to Amsterdam was 40.
Wow.
My I think so yeah, I guess now we arrived in Amsterdam. What did I do there? Yeah, just met up with my friend
That's crazy.
Julia, who I met in Paris last year. So I was like, cool. She was excited to have me over and like also house me and
Damn.
cook for me and just show me around town. I'm like, sweet, like you're completely welcome to come to Florida.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
can show you all
Totally
the dope
yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
going around town.
That's
So I
so
definitely have some
Yeah.
friends coming back over here.
That's really cool.
Yeah. That's important too. Just like
Wait, you said you had a photo that you took. You wanted to get a reaction.
Yeah.
Where was this photo taken? What is it? At?
Amsterdam, sunset. It's just so yeah, it's just a sunset picture in Amsterdam.
Just a sunset picture.
Casually.
Yeah, check this out.
Damn.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, that's right. This is your screensaver for your laptop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and my phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta get that picture so we can share with the world.
Yeah,
Wow.
He just bent it. We'll figure out a way to show you guys.
Yeah.
But that's an epic.
That's
Best
cool.
believe without a camera, I was still creating some dope shit.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
You still had your phone. You're like,
Yeah.
okay. You
Also,
what you
I
got.
just got this phone like a week before the trip, so lucky that didn't get stolen.
Yeah.
And also, I almost get stolen. So, oh,
my
and
gosh.
Wait, what?
So,
What?
to wrap up, London. After I had gotten to London, I was like, okay, my budget is like 3 cents. I gotta do something about this.
Slim.
So I make an announcement about what happened because I didn't really want to put it out there, but at the same time, I kind of want the same one perspective story for people to hear it from me.
Mhm.
Also, why I'm doing this, so there's no, I don't know. But
Yeah.
I also just put out like a request for donations to fund the trip to create. Like people, like close friends, like all
Mhm.
know that like anything they donate really goes towards me like having a place to stay, being able to eat, being
Right.
able to travel to the next thing, to be able to create these images that I can come back and even like give back to
Yeah.
them. So I definitely have like some pretty dope gifts.
That's cool. I'm so excited for these empanadas.
So yeah, I asked my friends and family for help, and a lot of people helped out.
That's
So,
really cool. It's cool to have like a support system that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I didn't even know anything to come from it. Like I didn't have any expectations, but I was just like, "Hey guys, this
just letting you know
this
this is
shit
what I'm going
happened,
through, yeah.
and like I kind
I'm
of need
here.
help.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to help, I'll pay it back, like in many ways."
Right.
So yeah, a lot of people pulled through, and I was able to keep traveling for a bit, and yeah, I got my ass to Amsterdam.
That's really cool.
Where else did I go from there?
That's freaking awesome.
I like how you like wrote down literally everything so you can
I know.
remember. Because then.
I mean, that's a lot of
yeah,
days.
Yeah, it's a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
days.
a lot
so,
of like
yeah.
even from
So-
whatever we talk about, there's
There's
still
plates.
I like how there's plates.
yeah.
This is so
So-
cute with little napkins.
What a presentation.
Right?
Now,
Just
This
prepared.
has turned into a cooking show. And for those of you who didn't know, this is also a cooking show. So we're going to be talking about some
Dude.
So,
yeah,
what is this one? Also, I know you guys just want to like put your face in them, but they're probably super hot.
Yeah.
True. I guess we should not do that then.
There's this guy. So yeah, where is it? Oh,
This is great.
Oh shit.
Don't burn yourself, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. Let's just wait,
Yeah.
show them off for a bit.
Dude, these look so good.
Maybe is there something we can like?
Fan
What?
it.
Ooh, I haven't.
Get it.
Dude.
Dude. Marissa.
Oh, it looks so
So Marissa just licked every
I
single
didn't lick it. I smelled it.
Taste with your eyes.
Taste with your
Yeah.
eyes.
Dude, those look so good.
So yeah, these empanadas are. Well, this is not what I expected, but I just wanted to poke.
Oh yeah.
Gotta let him breathe.
Nice.
So these are some empanadas from Miss Lola Granola.
Oh, I love her so much.
Hey.
Definitely a best friend, ride or die homie for life.
Yes.
Good mood food.
Good mood food.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Always putting
Oh
us
my
in a good
gosh,
mood.
you guys are freaking awesome.
Hey, we gotta get you
Yeah.
guys on podcast.
Shout
too.
So
out.
these are completely vegan and extra delicious. I had like a little brunch meeting for like best friends to just catch up yesterday. So
That's cute.
met up with Adriana. She had some goodies for us, and we chowed down.
She's so
That's what's
freaking
up,
cool.
man.
And she's also like amazing if you met her. Like she's,
Yeah.
Oh my
She was
gosh.
actually at the pop up. So
Oh,
Yeah, they have
nice.
food at the
Yeah.
yeah, I'm so excited. She went like freelance with Good Mood Food, and I'm like,
know.
do it. People
Yeah,
are like,
go.
don't even worry about it. People are gonna
Just do it.
Because
Their
I've
food
had
is so
the,
good. Oh my gosh.
I've had the pleasure of like eating her food for like years. I'm just like,
Dude.
you need
Oh.
to show the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Your magic.
Share your love of food.
Oh my gosh, we
everywhere,
gotta get them
yeah.
on the podcast for real.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, she's a
So
crazy
good.
spirited soul to even like talk to. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
She really
even like a
is.
podcast with her would be. So yeah, Amsterdam was dope.
Where'd you go
It's-
from there?
From there, so yeah, I was planning on going to like Berlin and Prague and Milan, but also kind of had to really be selective with my decisions because at this point, budget's cutting down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I still have a week to live,
Yep.
maybe less. But I was like, Amsterdam and London were half kind of like rainy and cold. And I was like really missing the sun. / I also really, really wanted to go to the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain, which is on the north coast. So I was like, I gotta get there somehow. I was departing from Brussels, which is actually 3 hours from Amsterdam, but I'm like, I
Wow.
gotta get over there.
Yeah.
Which my friend Kristen, who I mentioned earlier, and who I met in Paris, actually lives in Lisbon. So I found that 50% off flight to Lisbon. So I'm like, oh snap. And then from there, I
Should've
saw
worked
there
out.
was a 13 euro bus from Lisbon to Bilbao, which is like $15 to travel for 11 hours
Wow.
from like Miami to like North Carolina.
That's just crazy, bro.
Like stupid cheap.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
yes!
insane.
So yeah, after a few like amazing, beautiful, chill days in Amsterdam, I flew out to Lisbon, hung out with Kristen. Portugal's also like a phenomenal place to visit, so I was totally down to just be in Portugal. She showed me around, we did some things, and then I took the bus over to Bilbao, got to see the museum. That was really special to me. Yeah, let me show you this one thing.
Dude, that is so cool.
I
I'm
am
so
jealous.
hyped. I'm like so
Art.
like ready just to go on Google Flights and figure it out.
Yeah, so I
As soon as we're done
went
with
We
this
to-
just
podcast.
might do
Yeah.
that because that's just how we do.
Honestly,
stuff.
yeah. We just kind of go and figure it out.
I wanted to go to the museum, like one most just for the spider.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
cool.
So it's this giant like sculpture.
That looks like it's like in a Men in Black movie type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's a giant spider that you can go under, and it's supposed to be kind of like a mother figure, like protecting its child.
Wow.
To some people, it would like scare it off, but like this is the museum I went to go.
Oh my
So it's a
goodness.
giant like a sculpture installation museum.
It
It's
is
also like a work of
beautiful.
art in itself. And
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
We gotta get all these pictures too so we can show the
Yeah.
world.
yeah, and then there's like the
Wow.
spider from there with people and like
Oh wow.
different museums.
These
like,
are massive.
This is what the museum looks like from
Oh my
inside, just looking
gosh.
up.
Bruh.
Right.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So that's crazy. And then this is the picture I took inside of it.
Oh my
What
gosh.
the fuck? I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Good. So
Dang.
even like just
So
me
even the building itself is art.
yeah, insane. This is like, and then after the museum, I climbed this mountain to like watch
Wow.
the sunset over Spain. Like that was beautiful.
That's crazy.
And
Javi over here killing the game, bro.
For real.
That's what's
So-
real.
I can
That's
wrap
so
up this
cool.
story pretty quick so we can dig into here.
Okay, I'm
From
very
there,
excited.
from there, I hopped on a plane.
We both had to repeat that. Like, it just had to happen. It was like not even voluntary.
So,
I hopped on a plane to Brussels, where I was departing from, so I got to spend a day in Brussels. Also, it was kind of like my last 2 days. So in Bilbao, they're also very well known for their cuisine. They have some of the best food in the world. So I was like, it's my last 2 days. I'm gonna treat myself to a
Yes.
dinner.
Yeah, treat yourself.
So I had a bomb ass paella and other things. And then I went to Brussels, which Belgium's pretty well known for their beers. So I was like trying out beers all night. Yeah, my friend. My friend Julia, who lives in Amsterdam, that I mentioned is 3 hours away. She was like, "When are you getting to Brussels?" I'm like, "This time." She's like, "All right, I'll be there." I'm like, "Okay,
What?
cool."
Yeah.
So now I have a friend to go out and drink with, and I also love like music and records. So like I was able to like shop for some records. Like you can't really do that while you're traveling because then you have to carry them around. So I was like, cool.
Sure.
Last day, get some records. So I got a Tears for Fears album and Conan Moccasin, all dope artists. So happy with those. And I was ready to go home around like 2, and she was like, "Nah, man, it's your last day in Europe. We're going till sunrise." I'm like, So we stayed out all night, watched the sunrise, and somehow got on a plane I'm not bad at like 1 p.m. So and then,
Wow.
Good to go. Then
we're here.
damn, bro.
That is so
That's a freaking
awesome.
trip. That's a trip, bro. That's how you do
Lots
it.
of beautiful stories, amazing people I met, just friends from all over. Bailey lives in New Orleans, so now I have like a homie to go hang out with in New Orleans. She's free to come here whenever she wants.
And I love that
That's
mentality.
cool. Yeah.
Like literally like my house, your house type of thing. Because
Like we're practically family now.
dude, that's how it is, man. That's what's up. Dang.
That's
So
cool.
so to wrap it up in like one big thing. So like, what was like your main takeaway? Because like I'm assuming every time you travel, you like take away like something from it,
Sure.
or multiple things. But like, what was your main takeaway from this trip? Because that was a lot of stuff that happened in 23 days.
Yeah. I mean, initially it was definitely a sense of just letting anything negative in your mind go. Like I'm out there, I'm here to enjoy myself, so I'm going to.
Yeah.
So I let nothing really affect my mind. There was definitely a lot of things from losing. Also, I don't think I mentioned it in my.
You got air.
I was like, what is that?
In my bag with all the stuff I also lost my hard drive, which
No.
with all of my work
Oh,
ever.
Shit.
No.
So that's something that was really affecting me, as well as other clients that I had to deliver some edits still on.
Damn. And
So
it
I
was
was like,
yeah.
it's just a lot. So they're all cool with it. Of course, I have rescheduled free
Another
shoots
shoot,
for all
yeah.
of them because
Right.
they can just come
That's
in
what you
and just
gotta
do
do.
some stuff.
Yeah.
I have a camera now. Thanks you for all the people who are just helpful and patient.
They understand that the
Yeah.
girls sometimes throw stuff at you that you
Yep.
can't control. So
It happens.
So
damn, bro.
yeah. What was the question?
No, that was it.
Oh, cool.
You answered that.
Yeah.
All right, so
I was like, wait, what was
before
the
we dive
question?
into these empanadas, because they're freaking beautiful, and I'm so excited to eat them.
Yes.
We like to end all our podcasts with this final question, which is, we like to share our struggles, and you shared a lot of your struggles already just through that journey. But what's one thing that you're currently going through right now as you came? Is my hair okay?
Yeah, a little bit.
He's looking at it. So like, what's one thing you're currently going through right now, as far as like struggles that you're struggling with, and what's one thing someone in the universe can help you out with today if they were to listen to this podcast?
So yeah, I've pretty much come back with like 3 cents to my name.
Mm.
So now, now that I have bought my new camera, definitely, these empanadas are all I own. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
1 cent.
So yeah, definitely just. People have seen my work. If you haven't, check it out. I do some dope shit.
It really
And-
does.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to be back, have a camera to be able to create with. So I'm just excited to get back to scheduling and like creating some bomb imagery for all the artists and musicians in town. So if you're looking for some dope imagery, check out my stuff, hit me up. We have this studio to work in as well as Tampa around. That'd be cool, just to get some more creative work done. And I guess with this, I've realized that I watched actually your latest podcast last night. I think you mentioned about how you can't do everything yourself.
Yeah.
So I have always been the type to try and do things on my own, but I'm also not afraid to ask for help because it really doesn't hurt to ask.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like, hi guys.
Yes.
This is what's going on.
That's
Here I
literally
am.
what we do all the time. We're like, hey.
That's our daily.
Dude.
So
So if you're from the Tampa area or just Florida in general, or if you're coming to Florida, hit up Javi, Zitrovision on Instagram. He will not disappoint you.
For real.
Sure. And we want to do some stuff with you too, maybe one day. Right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely stuff I've written down for us to just we can do
Play
a lot
around
of
with some
dope work
stuff.
together.
Yeah,
for
that'd
sure.
be dope.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
That's wild.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this podcast. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, all that fun. Share it with your friends.
Share it.
All that stuff.
Do all the things.
Do
things.
all those things. Any last words, Javi, before we roll out?
I have shout outs.
Shout out.
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Just
Shout out.
I definitely have to shout out everybody who helped me out.
Yeah, of course,
So
man.
that with just like helping me, having a place to stay, feeding me, just helping along the way. So
Let's do it.
number one, shout out to mom, of course. Always has
Always.
my back,
CP.
putting myself in front of. She takes care of her kids. She's been a single mom pretty much all her life.
Wow.
So strong
Respect
woman
that.
power.
Respect
Yes.
My sister Amy, Steven, Bailey, Kristen, Whitney, Julia, my sisters Jessica and Kati in Orlando, my friends Shay, Malcolm, Katie, our dad Cam for sure helped out.
Yes,
Thank
Cam.
you, Cam. Hey.
Love you, Cam.
Jorge and Jeanette, Molly, Lele, Annie and Jose, Brandon, Jim, Garrett, Maida, Kyle, Ricky, Philip, Michael, Jennifer, Gabrielle. Thank you for
You guys are the bomb.com.
You guys made that happen, guys. That's
Make your
so
dreams.
dope.
Make your dreams come true.
I look forward to presenting a lot of dope shit for you guys to see of what I created on the way. And look out for my next exhibition here at the Kilgore Atelier. Date to be announced, but there will be something special to show everybody, especially
That's gonna be cool.
gauging from their reaction to the image I showed them earlier. Like, it's gonna be something cool.
Yeah.
Dude, can't wait to see it, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see those.
Dope. Dang. All right, well,
Oh my
we can
gosh.
just leave those running. Let's eat these empanadas.
Oh my
now.
gosh, I'm
Ooh.
very
So
excited.
I don't really know which ones are which, but I
Yeah.
imagine you would both share. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
this one's apple pie and this one's mac and cheese. That's my guess.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, this is mac and
Of course
cheese.
you would get them. She loves mac
I
and
love
cheese.
the apple pie one too. That's so freaking
All
good.
right, cheers,
Oh.
guys. You gotta do like a little empanada cheers.
Oh my bad.
She's like,
You've been smelling it for like 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Before we end this podcast, I just want to give a huge shout out to EV47. He's the one that made the beat for the beginning and end of this podcast. So you should definitely check him out because he's dope. And yeah, peace.
Yes.